And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, IR Radio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Wednesday, folks. One more day before March Madness truly takes off. We've got the last two play-in games tonight, folks. Once again, like 6:40 and like 9:10, tipping off on those games. And after tonight, we'll have the full field of 64 ready to go tomorrow at noon Eastern. And man, oh man, March Madness, especially the first two rounds, the first 4 days. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day basketball, college basketball. Then we go a couple day break, and then we're back at it for about 3 straight days, and then a break and all that. But these first 4 magical days of March Madness, folks, doesn't get any better than that. So, today on the show, we are officially filling out our bracket, folks. We got to do it, got to submit it by tonight, so we're all good tomorrow. So, we had the first 2 playing games yesterday, and our algorithm went 1-1. We didn't call the upset, and Indiana won. So we went 1-1 there. I do want to tweak the algorithm a tad. There is one thing that I saw last night that I think we have to up a little bit overall. What is truly unfortunate, though, is that we cannot go back and re-simulate those games that we just watched to see if our algorithm would have gave us the right answer still, which is very upsetting to me. I would have liked to be able to kind of tweak the algorithm a bit and see if it's still spitting out the right answer. So it's going to be a little unfortunate, but there is one thing I kind of want to change, and we'll talk all through that. All right, so we've got that today on the show. That's the main thing. Breaking down the NBA from last night, betting on the NBA tonight, and we got to talk some NFL stories quickly, folks. So the March Madness is really going to take up a lot. I know it is. So we are going to have to save a lot of time for that. But y'all, once again, folks, we're 4 weeks removed from the Super Bowl, from any NFL action, and I think y'all are starting to lose your minds a little bit here, folks. And once again, and I know I'm going to say this again, I think I've said this every day for the last week because I'm still seeing it. I'm just like, I don't like to say that my opinion or what I say is the end all be all. It's the right answer, all that. I'm right, y'all are wrong. I don't like to play that. But what y'all have been saying the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I don't understand what y'all are doing. I don't understand where y'all are coming from. I don't understand what y'all are using to get to these conclusions. And I think it's a little bit of you losing your mind. That's okay. No football. I know it sucks. I'm struggling over here. I want NFL Sundays every single day. Don't get me wrong. I want Thursday night football. I want Monday night football. I want regular season games leading up into playoffs. I want all of that. But we have to remember that we just had an entire NFL season. And I saw what you were saying during that season. All throughout week 1 to the Super Bowl. I saw what y'all said. And y'all are kind of going complete 180 of what y'all said this season. So, yes, being 4 weeks, 1 month removed from the Super Bowl, I think y'all are kind of getting a little crazy out here. So, another thing happened yesterday, folks, and I don't feel good these last 2 days, folks, and y'all are making me go manic out here. You're supposed to rest. You're not supposed to be distracted. You're not supposed to go manic when you're sick. You need rest to heal up, and y'all got me going manic over here because y'all are going crazy. So y'all are prolonging the illness over here, folks. Stop it. So we got to set the record straight a little bit on another story. That once again, and it's not just one person, it's a lot of people, and that's what makes it just so insane. I don't get where everybody is coming from, but we will get to that, and we'll break it all down, and we will argue our point. That's what we do here on the show. We argue the points, we see the points, we take in the points, and we talk through the points. But I gotta argue these points here, folks, and you must listen. You better open up those ears. Y'all must listen to this, folks, because y'all are starting to go down that steep slope that there's really no turning back from. Y'all already started with the whole Mason Rudolph stuff, and we're not going to bring that up again because, once again, we are sick and we cannot, for our health, revisit that situation. But this one, almost a little worse. All right, but that's what we've got today on the show, so let's start with the NBA. We'll do our NBA, go to the NFL stories, and then we will finish with the March Madness bracket selection. So here we go. Let's start with the NBA. And there was only 4 games on last night. And once again, folks, we go 2 of 3 in our betting. Oh my goodness, the 100%, 3 for 3, 4 for 4 has truly been eluding us these last few days. So we must get back on track with a 100% hit percentage, whether it's 1 pick, 2 pick, red pick, blue pick, 10 picks, whatever it is. These 2 of 3s and these only missing ones are starting to get a little out of hand. So we got to rein ourselves in. Y'all got to rein yourselves in for some of these wild takes y'all are saying. And we got to rein ourselves in a little bit on finding all the great value and not just kind of 66% and all that. All right, so here we go. First game up is the Grizzlies at the Pacers, and we took the Pacers +7, but man, oh man, this Pacers team, folks, absolutely abysmal. They get blown out by 33 points. Grizzlies get the win 135-102, and this is the only game that we missed on last night betting. We gave a little bit too much faith in this Pacers team. Tyrese Halliburton once again letting us down, 4 points on only 9 shots. He had 8 assists, but can we get some scoring production out here? Your team's got no scores. Tyrese Halliburton, and after the trade from the Kings to this Pacers team, everyone was like, how could you do Tyrese Halliburton like that? He's so good on the Kings. He's a rising star. He's such a great talent, and now he's over here on this Pacers team being garbage. So where is this happening? Where is Tyrese Halliburton ever being good? So Tyrese Halliburton let us down last night, shot 22%. Buddy Hield, 14 points, 0 of 2 from the 3. What's up with that? The leading scorer was Jalen Smith coming off the bench with 15 points, 8 rebounds. That's not going to get it done, and the Pacers get absolutely blown out. Grizzlies last night with no Ja Morant, which just makes this Pacers loss even much more worse. How do you get blown out by 33 with no Ja Morant? What the hell is up with that? Man, oh man. But Tyus Jones out here stepping in for Ja Morant at the 1, 8 points, but those 10 assists, I'll take that. Desmond Bane, 21 points. We had Steven Adams, 13 points, 13 rebounds. Jaren Jackson, 19 points. Dylan Brooks, second game back, 10 points in the starting lineup, all that. And then the great bench contribution, DeAnthony Melton, 18 points, 6 assists. Zaire Williams, 11 points. And Brandon Clark, also 13 points. And let's shout out John Contra as well. 9 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds in only 18 minutes. Yeah, we'll take that. So this Grizzlies team, we thought we would be worried about them with no Ja Morant. But, they fill in for him and they still get it done. They put up 135 points and they blow out the Pacers on the road. Well done. Great win for this Grizzlies team. And once again, we are updating our power rankings on Friday. And this Grizzlies team definitely, with this win last night, can definitely be moved up a little bit from their current 5th spot in our top 10. So, great big win here for the Grizzlies. Pacers still letting us down. I think we're going to be done betting the Pacers for the rest of the season, folks, honestly. Grizzlies get the win, 135-102. All right, next game up here is the Nets at the Magic, and we took this game, bet this game, Nets -10, and they had no problem winning by 32 points, 150-108, and Kyrie Irving, folks, man, oh man, 60 points, 4 steals, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Did you hear me correctly, folks? 60 points, shot 64% from the field on 31 shots, shot 8 of 12 from the 3 for those 60 points. Absolutely magnificent. And he could have went for even more. They took him out. Steve Nash took him out about around midway 4th quarter. So Kyrie Irving definitely could have gotten maybe 70, 75, 80, who knows. And that's kind of the big talk here. Everyone upset with the Nets for taking Kyrie Irving out and not letting him kind of finish the game and seeing how much he could rack up. And yeah, I definitely see that. And it didn't seem like Kyrie Irving was too upset being taken out of the game. And I believe Kyrie Irving, if he wanted to stay in the game, he could just kind of look at Steve Nash and be like, you're not taking me out. What are you doing? Because we know Steve Nash is not kind of the big leader for this team. So if you just kind of look at him funny, maybe he just be like, okay, you do you. You can stay in the game. That's fine. But yeah, Kyrie Irving, 60 points, and that's the game. I mean, you get a player scoring 60 points. I mean, that's going to be the game, folks. We just saw that with Karl Anthony Towns. He just put up 60 points. All right. And once again, folks, truly apologize. Like I said, we are under the weather here, but we're trying to persevere. We're trying to push through, and we still got to talk. We got to talk. Just because we're sick, the sports world still continues and turns on, folks. We cannot let the illness defeat us. But yeah, Kyrie Irving, a great night. Kevin Durant only took 9 shots. Let Kyrie do his thing, and Kevin Durant still got 19 points and 7 assists. So, man, oh man, the duo between Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving is truly dangerous. And once Ben Simmons is good to play for this Nets team, this is going to be maybe a good Nets team. I think we were wrong about this Nets team, folks, and we will apologize for that, absolutely. We do say some wrong things here and there, not that much, but we come at y'all when you say some crazy things. I mean, did you just hear the lead up that we had for the show? We're gonna go in on y'all in a second. So we got to admit when we're wrong, and potentially we still got to see it, but potentially we were wrong about this Nets team, and we've got no problem admitting that and moving them up in our top 10 and betting on them almost on a nightly basis. So we're not tripping over here. We're not tripping. So the Nets get the big ol' win. And then for the Magic, getting blown out here, Cole Anthony, 19 points, 7 assists, a decent performance overall. Franz Wagner, 16 points. We had Wendell Carter, 18 points, but there's just nothing great. There's no superstar on this Magic team, and Cole Anthony is not really elevating those around him, and that's what we really have to see because there is no superstar on this Magic team, so you do have to kind of have your best player influence the rest of your squad to play up to their best potential, and Cole Anthony just really doesn't bring that out of anybody. Also, let's shout out Moritz Wagner coming off the bench, 17 points, 11 rebounds. I'm telling y'all, Franz Wagner, Moritz Wagner, loving the Wagner twins here for the Magic. They've been real solid all year long, and we'll see what happens with them in the offseason. We know the Magic aren't going anywhere this season in terms of playoff-wise, so we'll see what happens with the Wagner twins. I know they are young. Are they rookies? Let's quickly look at this. There is one year. Franz Wagner, a rookie who's in the starting lineup. And what do we got by Moritz Wagner? They drafted the Wagner twins in one draft? No, Moritz Wagner, been here a little bit longer, 3 years experience. But some solid additions here for this Magic team. But once again, Cole Anthony, the biggest name on this team, was in the dunk contest, all of that. He's really got to be the one to step it up here. And we have not really seen any improvement all year long. So Magic get absolutely dominated by the Nets, winning or losing 150-108. All right, then we get the Pistons at the Heat, and man, oh man, Pistons made it a game and had the lead throughout this game, and this was all without Cade Cunningham. When we were talking about this game on the show yesterday, we saw that Cade Cunningham was a game time decision. The spread was Pistons plus 13.5, and about an hour before tip-off, they say Cade Cunningham is not good to go, and the line still stays 13.5. So Vegas kind of knew that Cade Cunningham was not going to go and factor that in to the spread already, and the Pistons cover that spread, folks. They only lose by 7 points last night. I'm telling y'all, this Pistons team is truly really good for being kind of not a good team. Y'all know what we're saying? So, Pistons, they cover the spread, no Cade Cunningham, and this is why we're a little concerned about this Heat team overall, because they had kind of their full arsenal last night. Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, so they had everybody last night, but everybody kind of floundered. We had Jimmy Butler only 8 points on 22% shooting, Bam Adebayo 16 points, 8 rebounds, that was solid by the man. Duncan Robinson giving us 12 points, but on 20% shooting, 2 of 9 from 3. Once again, inefficiency here by Duncan Robinson. And then Kyle Lowry, 6 points on 0 of 3. He made all of his points from the free throw line and only 4 assists. So everything was a little lackluster by the Heat where, no Cade Cunningham. You probably should have been a little bit more dominant here. Just a little bit. Tyler Hero continuing to do his thing and truly securing like 6th man of the year this season. There really is no debate. Last year we were having good debates with the 6th man of the year kind of throughout their whole season, but this season it's really just Tyler Hero's race, and he won it last night. 29 points. Led the team in scoring, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, shot 4 of 8 from the 3, all of that, and was really kind of the reason why they won, because of his scoring production, because they got nothing great from anybody else. Also, let's shout out Max Strus, once again, still getting it done off the bench, 4 of 6 from the 3, 16 points altogether, second leading scorer last night. So this Heat team, we know they can rely on their bench. We do like that about the Heat, but we got to see some dominant wins, and I don't think that we've seen a Heat dominate really at all this season. We just had Kyrie Irving doing it all himself, a nice kind of 50-point win. We have to see that with this Heat team before we truly kind of re-buy into them. We haven't really re-bought into them ever since they lost their dog title, and until we see something jaw-dropping by them, they're just going to be just an okay, above-average team, according to us, so... You get the win, which is still good, but let's see if we can dominate a little bit here and there. Let's try to dominate by Friday so we can put you in the top 10 somewhere. we don't even have the Heat in the top 10, folks. I mean, this is what we're saying. So we'll see what they can do, but got to step it up a tad more, just a tad more. But for the Pistons last night, we had Corey Joseph at the 1 and Rodney McGruder at the 2 to kind of fill in for no Cade Cunningham. And they didn't really get it done. Corey Joseph, 9 points, 3 assists. Rodney McGruder, 8 points, 1 assist. So they did nothing like Cade Cunningham does. But Jeremy Grant, 22 big old points, 4 rebounds, doing solid last night. Definitely could have been a little bit better, but overall, we'll give him a little credit. Sadiq Bey, 13 points, 6 assists. Isaiah Stewart letting us down big time last night, 2 points, 8 rebounds on 0 of 5 from the field. But the bench helped out a lot here. We had Marvin Bagley, 13 points, 6 rebounds. Killian Hayes, 9 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. And then Isaiah Livers coming off the bench, 16 points, 6 rebounds. So the bench of the Pistons helped out. And once again, Jeremy Grant, can you just take control of this team, please? Once again, we did officially claim that this is no longer Jeremy Grant's team and it was Cade Cunningham's team. I think we said that yesterday or 2 days ago, and this is exactly why Jeremy Grant can't step up. We really needed him to be kind of like a 30-point scorer here with no Cade Cunningham, but Jeremy Grant couldn't do that. He played okay, and that's okay if you want to lose close like they did last night. You cover the spread, so that's good, but I mean, you're fighting for a playoff spot here, Pistons. I mean, we get them, well, now they're currently out, but I mean, they were kind of on their way to potentially, it was going to take a lot of work, but I mean, you really had to win out for the rest of the season, so where's that urgency? And they haven't really played with urgency. That's what it is. They have not played with urgency all year long, folks, and Jeremy Grant let us down last night. So Pistons lose, Heat win, but overall, Heat, let's do a little bit better out there. And then the last game of the night here, our last bet that we hit, Suns minus 4.5, and they had no problem covering that, winning by 16 against the Pelicans, getting it done, winning 131-115. And we love this Suns team, absolutely fantastic. Once again, no Chris Paul, but Devin Booker gets it done, 27 points, 8 assists, and Cameron Payne gets it done. Once again, we can rely on Cameron Payne. This man is very good at the 1. So yes, no Chris Paul, but Cameron Payne, and we saw this last season, folks. Cameron Payne stepping up in the playoffs with no Chris Paul, having to kind of fill in at that starting 1, and he really got it done all year last year. That's why they got to the finals. We have to give more credit to Cameron Payne, and he really got it done last night. 14 points, 8 assists. He was a plus 18 on the floor. That was the third highest of the starters. The bench had some really great productions as well, but Cameron Payne, folks, let's recognize and let's start giving this man a little bit more credit. Devin Booker, like we said, the 27 points, 8 assists, fantastic. DeAndre Ayton, 18 points, 5 rebounds. McCall Bridges, 20 points. Jay Crowder, 3 of 6 from the 3 for his 9 points. And then this bench, JaVale McGee, the bigs. I love it. Man, oh man, watching JaVale McGee still be fantastic, folks. I absolutely love it. 19 points, 6 rebounds coming off the bench. Torrey Craig, 11 points off the bench in 28 minutes. Want to see him get a more increased role out here. But 28 minutes is very good. So we do give him credit. Love seeing, let me rephrase that. I love seeing Torrey Craig get kind of all these minutes out here. And then Landry Shamet, shout him out as well. 6 points. He was a plus 23 in 19 minutes. We give him some credit there. So, Suns, they are rolling. Yes, no Chris Paul, but no problem because Cameron Payne can fill in just as good. Even though that Chris Paul is playing his best basketball that he's played all year long, Cameron Payne is still playing pretty gosh dang good in relative to Chris Paul. And then for the Pelicans last night, unfortunately losing. Still no Brandon Ingram, so we get Herbert Jones at the 3. He had 22 points and 5 rebounds. That's definitely Brandon Ingram-esque. We had Jonas Valanciunas, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Fantastic. CJ McCollum, 21 points, 9 assists on 3 of 6 from the 3. That was fantastic. And then we had Jackson Hayes at the 4. Love seeing that man out there. 16 points, 4 rebounds. Fantastic. Devontae Graham at the 1, 10 points, 7 assists. So everybody in the starting lineup was fantastic. They even had some nice bench production coming from Trey Murphy, 11 points, 4 rebounds. And Willie Hernandez-Gomez, 10 points, 4 rebounds. But just not enough, not on the level that we saw the Suns bench, that we saw kind of the superstars, Devin Booker, McCall Bridges here. So this Pelicans team, they really just kind of need that extra oomph with their big 3. And until they get Brandon Ingram back, we have to stay away from betting them. And we saw that last night, losing by 16. So Suns get the win 131-115 last night. And then 2 quick things here to talk about stories-wise in the NBA, and this one's fantastic, folks. The Denver Nuggets have assigned Jamal Murray to the NBA G League, and that's always kind of the path you take coming back from a long injury. They don't just throw you in NBA games. They put you down to the G League, run a couple of minutes there, getting kind of up to speed, get your conditioning right, and then they kind of, reinstate you back into the NBA, and, you play very well because you already had that kind of, you already got into NBA action. So Jamal Murray coming back maybe before the end of the regular season, maybe at the start of the playoffs here, but the biggest thing is that Jokic held it down. So this Nuggets team has a great seeding so far. Nuggets are currently 6th in the Western Conference, so at the current moment, they don't have to play in the play-in tournaments, anything like that, giving Jamal Murray some more time to rest. And even when Jamal Murray comes back, I mean, it's not all going to be on Jamal Murray to make this Nuggets team work again, because Jokic has been making it work the entire season. Once again, a little bit of why he really should be the MVP, because out of all the help, he is the one MVP candidate that has the least amount of help on this Nuggets team. So getting Jamal Murray back is going to be absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see what this Nuggets team can do in the playoffs with this man back. And then the last thing right here, the Knicks are expecting to keep Tom Thibodeau beyond the season. I don't love it. We saw the kind of decline from last season to this season with the Knicks. I will give Tom Thibodeau a little credit of keeping this Knicks team kind of on the right path, because we saw them kind of be really bad this entire season and down a bad stretch, and they're currently not even in the play-in tournament at the 12th seed. But Tom Thibodeau is still kind of getting some nice plays out of the Knicks starters and the Knicks team there, even though there's really nothing to play for at the current moment. Yeah, they can get in the play-in tournament, but they're about 6 games out, so it's going to be real tough for them to get in. But we've seen this Knicks team be competitive these last kind of 5-6 games, and we had to end our sponsorship with the Knicks because of them being competitive. So that's the only green flag I can give Tom Thibodeau. You're keeping the team competitive when there's really nothing to play for. So if that's the reason why he should stay, I don't know if that's a great reason. So Knicks still staying with Tom Thibodeau. We'll see how all that works out, but they need a superstar on that team, folks. What do we got? Julius Randle has proven he cannot be the superstar on this team, so someone's going to have to step up. We still need some good guard play here, so I don't know if Tom Thibodeau is going to really kind of help find all that out come next season, but that's what the Knicks are doing. They're keeping Tom Thibodeau next year. I don't know if that's the right decision, but that's what we're getting. All right. Those were all the NBA games and stories from last night, but now let's see what we've got on tap tonight in the NBA. Tons of games on here, tons of value to parse through. Let's go through it a little quickly here because we still got to get to the March Madness stuff, and that's going to take up a lot of time. All right, here we go. First game up here. What do we got? First game up, 76ers at the Cavs. 76ers -4, Cavs +4. Alrighty. For the 76ers, everybody's good to go. And then for the Cavs, we get Jared Allen still out. Rondo is out as well. But this 76ers team must do something urgently. We need to see a dominant win from the 76ers team as soon as possible because they lost to the Nuggets, they lost to the Nets, not back-to-back, but, I mean, you're losing against the better teams in the NBA, and we know this Cavs team is a better team in the NBA here, so we're going to stay away from this game. 76ers have to kind of reprove themselves to us here in this Cavs team. We love Darius Garland, don't get us wrong, but once again, we still really want Jared Allen out there. Evan Mobley has been playing really well in lieu of Jared Allen at the 5. But really, it's just going to depend on how well or bad the 76ers play. So not loving the spread here. Seems like the 76ers -4 is a home run, but don't think that because this Cavs team has, been solid. They've been able to do it with just Darius Garland and Karis LeVert back. So we're going to stay away from 76ers at the Cavs. Nothing great jumping out at us. All right, next game up, we get the Nuggets at the Wizards. Nuggets -6.5. Wizards +6.5. For the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon is a game-time decision. Zeke Naji is a game-time decision. And JaMychal Green is a game-time decision. And then for the Wizards, everybody is good to go there. So we know this Wizards team is nothing good, folks. 4-game losing streak. They're getting blown out all the time. Where this Nuggets team, they just went and beat the 76ers looking real gosh dang good while doing so. And Aaron Gordon being a game-time decision, do we even care? I mean, the man doesn't do anything offensively anyway. So Nuggets -6.5 is seeming like the better play here. We may come back to this. Game, but let's see what else we got here. Nuggets -6.5 should hit, no problem. But let's see if we get any other great value that we can kind of substitute that for. All right, next game up here, we get the Hawks at the Hornets. Hawks -1, Hornets +1, and this Hawks team has, once again, not been able to close out games, not being able to win convincingly, only won by 9 in their last game against the Blazers, which is kind of truly unacceptable. Where this Hornets team, I mean, we know what they are. They hit the threes, they go on runs, they win games, and all that. So for this Hawks team, we get Danilo Gallinari is a game-time decision, and John Collins is out still. Where with the Hornets, everybody's going to go, but Gordon Hayward is still out. But Hawks -1, I mean, I think we're going to take this because this Hawks team has to kind of prove at some point that they are a real deal team. Both of these teams currently in the play-in tournament, Hawks at the 9th seed, Hornets at the 10th seed. So this is a little bit of a preview of a potential play-in tournament game here, and we'll see if this Hawks team can get it done. But this is a winnable game for the Hawks. You must beat the Hornets here. Only have to swallow one, basically call them the winner. We'll take the Hawks -1 tonight, believing in them. Should we believe in the Hawks, folks? Maybe we shouldn't. Man, I'm kind of second-guessing myself here on some of these spreads. Like, I want to take the 76ers -4. I really do, and we probably should do that. Same thing with the Nuggets -6.5. We should be taking that as well. Maybe we shouldn't be betting on the Hawks. So let me take this off here. I got to kind of retool our thinking here, folks. But let's continue on to see if we get any kind of okay, that's the moment we needed, like our mind-opening moment. Let's see if we get that, because I don't know why I'm hesitant to take the 76ers -4 and the Nuggets -6.5. What are we doing? This illness has truly gotten to me, folks. I'm not the same old takes by fans over here, folks. The same old takes by fans, the OG takes by fans. We'd be swallowing up that 76ers -4. Damn. The illness is getting to us, folks. The illness is getting to us. All right, next game up here, Blazers at the Knicks. Blazers +12.5, Knicks -12.5 here. And for this Knicks team, once again, no longer our sponsor, so we can swallow the 12.5 here. We're not going to do that, but we've got the opportunity to do so if we so please. Everybody's still out for the Blazers, folks. Anthony Simon's still out. Where the Knicks, we got Nerlens Noel is out, and Lucas Samanik is a game-time decision. So, Blazers +12.5. They did surprise us their last game, kind of covering the spread. I think it was like at 13, with no Anthony Simons. So, we're going to stay away from this game, but don't think the Knicks -12.5 is kind of like a slam dunk. Yes, we'll stay away from this one. No great value. Still, yes, we don't have a sponsorship with the Knicks anymore, but that doesn't mean that we love the Knicks and all that. Let's set that record straight. All right, next game up here, we get the Mavericks at the Nets. Nets on the back-to-back, so we got to stay away from it, which I'm kind of thankful for because I kind of want to take this this Mavericks team. Mavericks -3, Nets +3. Nets at home, so Kyrie can't play, coming off that 60-point performance. For the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. is out. Reggie Bullock is still out. Marquise Chris is out. For the Nets, LaMarcus Aldridge is out. Seth Curry, game-time decision, and Ben Simmons not ready to make his debut just quite yet. But Nets on the back-to-back, we got to stay away from it. Next game, we get the Suns and the Rockets. Suns -11. Suns on the back-to-back. No, thank you. Then we get the Lakers at the Timberwolves. Lakers +9. Timberwolves -9 out here. For the Lakers, LeBron, a game-time decision. Talen Horton-Tucker, a game-time decision. For the Timberwolves, Patrick Beverley, game-time decision. Jordan McLaughlin, game-time decision. Jared Vanderbilt, game-time decision, and Jaden McDaniels is out. But we do like this Timberwolves team, and they should have no problem beating this Lakers team. 9-point spread, maybe a little bit too high. With the way that Anthony Edwards has been playing as of recently, we really need to see him getting it done consistently before we start betting this Timberwolves team back again. So, gonna stay away from this game. Then we get the Thunder at the Spurs. Thunder +13, Spurs -13. Two trash teams. We stay away from that. Then we get the Bulls at the Jazz. Oh boy. Bulls playing alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Bulls play basketball tonight, folks. Do not get kind of caught up that this Bulls team is a good team. Bulls +6, Jazz -6. The Bulls +6 may seem like great value, but it's not, folks. We know this. Zach LaVine is a game-time decision. For the Jazz, we get Bojan Bogdanovic out still. Unfortunate. Trent Force is a game-time decision. So this Bulls team, they get exposed by the great teams. They get exposed by the mediocre teams. They couldn't even cover the spread their last game, all that, lost straight up. This Bulls team is trash, and we're ready to kind of bet against them. Jazz -6. Jazz coming off that loss to the Bucks, want to kind of reassert their dominance a little bit, and this is the perfect way to do so because everybody's still big on the Bulls when they should not be. They just lost by 9 to the Kings. 9 to the Kings. That's inexcusable, folks, truly. Jazz -6, absolutely. All right, next game up here. Is this game on television? I really hope so. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Celtics at the Warriors, 10-10 on ESPN, folks. Yes, this is going to be fantastic. We got to watch this game. And I know that, the play-in games of March Madness are on and all that tonight, but make sure you put away some time to watch this Celtics-Warriors game. This is going to be a real great test to see how great the Celtics are, and we had them at number 1 in our power rankings and all that. Celtics on the road against a rising Warriors team. They're on a 4-game winning streak, starting to really turn it around here. Draymond Green back and all that. For the Celtics, just Aaron Nesmith is out. And for the Warriors, we get Andrew Wiggins, a game-time decision. Interesting. With an illness. Maybe we have the same illness here. So kind of both teams at full strength here. But I'm going to take the Celtics +2 here, folks. I'm ready to truly believe in the Celtics team. Bet on the Celtics team. Put our money where our mouth is. Putting the Celtics at the number 1 seed in our power rankings. Not even having the Warriors in the top 10. And we get 2 points with the Celtics. Yeah. Give me that. Celtics +2 tonight. All right, final 2 games. Here we go. Bucks at the Kings. Bucks -8.5. Kings +8.5. Everybody's going to go for the Bucks besides Pat Connaughton. He is out. And for the Kings, Jeremy Lamb and Terrence Davis are out. So the Kings, won in their last game pretty convincingly against the Bulls. We know this Bucks team is different and better than the Bulls and all that, but this Kings team has some motivation behind them. They're ready to kind of make a playoff push. We get the Kings currently at the 13th seed in the Western Conference, but they are still right in it to try and get into that play-in tournament. They're only about 4 games back from that 10th seed, so they've been kind of catching some fire recently, beating, the Bulls team that's highly regarded in the national media. So we'll stay away from this one. Bucks probably win this game, but we'll stay away from the 8.5. And then the last game of the night, Raptors at the Clippers. Raptors -1.5, Clippers +1.5 here. Clippers, they've been really disappointing us, really kind of like the last month. They've shown us nothing great. For the Raptors, Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby are both game-time decision. That's a little alarming. For the Clippers, we get Norman Powell is still out here. So if Fred VanVleet was guaranteed to be playing, I would swallow the -1.5 here because this Raptors team is looking to kind of get back on track. They've won their last 4 games, looking pretty solid while doing so. But we have to have that confirmation of Fred VanVleet, so we will stay away from the Raptors -1.5. I guess we could check NBA Fantasy Labs. Let's check that quickly. Fred VanVleet, we get any news on him? Ooh, Joel Embiid is questionable on Wednesday with the back. Oh, maybe he doesn't play. Yeah. Especially going against Evan Mobley. I mean, that's going to be a tough day for Joel Embiid. Obviously not super tough, but we have to give Evan Mobley some credit. The man has been playing very well down at the 5. So yeah, maybe that was good. That was good that we are staying away from the 76ers. And we don't have any really update on our man Fred VanVleet. So we will stay away from the Raptors. Actually, I'm going to just take it, honestly. Fred VanVleet plays, doesn't play. This Clippers team is nothing good anyway. We can rely on Siakam and Scotty Barnes and all that. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Raptors -1.5. And then I want to go back here, and I want to take the Nuggets -6.5. And I want to take the Hawks -1. And look at this. Look at this. They took the 76ers game off the board because of Joel Embiid. So he's probably not going to be playing tonight. So we're gonna bet on the Hawks here. They've got to take advantage and win this game. That's really what we're betting on. The Hawks have to win this game, so we're gonna bet on it just purely because of that. Alrighty, so here we go, folks. We got 5 games tonight, folks. 5 games. Jazz -6, Celtics +2, Raptors -1.5, Nuggets -6.5, and the Hawks -1. We're taking all of them, folks. And we'll be back here tomorrow telling you we went 4 or 5, and one's going to, bite us in the butt, and it's probably either going to be the Hawks -1 or the Nuggets -6.5. I like the other ones a lot. Jazz -6, Celtics +2, Raptors -1.5. All that is really good value. Nuggets -6.5, it should hit. This Wizards team is spiraling, folks, spiraling bad. And the Hawks, they have to win. So we're going to beef it up a little bit and also bet those. Alrighty, those are our bets for tonight, and that is all the NBA we had to go over for today. So now let's shift gears to the NFL, where I want to touch on some stories because y'all have been going crazy. Y'all have been losing your mind. You have been losing your minds out here, folks, and I get it. We are a month removed from watching football every single week, multiple times a week, all day Sunday. I get that, folks, but let's not forget what we all just saw this season. Let's not forget what we learned, and that's why I wanted to give our final thoughts. Unfortunately, that did not pan out, but that's why we wanted to get all of our final thoughts down on every single team so we don't get lost in the shuffle, so we don't kind of lose our minds and lose touch with reality of actually what happened this season. Because I see some of y'all endorsing a quarterback started last night when everything kind of transpired, and then it continued on this morning, and it's still continuing on, and some people are even doubling down. And I'm like, why are you doubling down? You had a night's rest, and you woke up this morning thinking about that, and what you wanted to do was double down? What? If you have a crazy just kind of initial take, that's fine. Come back tomorrow, sleep on that take, and maybe kind of, retool that take, rethink that take, and, have it right. That's what we try to do on the show. We want to get it right. If we're right off the rip, fantastic. If we were wrong once, twice, and then that third time it took us to get right, that's fine as well. But the fact that y'all are doubling down this morning, this is where we have the problem, and this is where we have to bring it up and try to, refocus y'all. That's all we're trying to do here is let's just refocus, y'all, because I think y'all are getting out of the realm of thinking, and we don't want to be out of the realm of thinking, folks. Do not be out of the realm of anything, yes? And what y'all have been saying last night, this morning, it's out of the realm of thinking, folks. It's bad. It's real big time bad, okay? So, we got to talk about that, and how we talk about that first, well, let's talk about what set it all off here. And this is what we get. DeSean Watson has been meeting with many teams, 4 different teams so far DeSean Watson has met with. He's meeting today with the Atlanta Falcons, which is kind of crazy, but I like it. Matt Ryan, he's just not the guy anymore. He's a serviceable option that maybe looks good 1, 2, 3 games out of the year, but we know we're not winning consistently with them. We know he's not making the perfect plays throughout the game needed to win that game. We know they're not getting to the playoffs, and we know when it kind of comes push to shove, if they do somehow get to the Super Bowl, Matt Ryan really can't put the team on his back. So, yeah, I've got no problem with the Falcons moving off of Matt Ryan, but back to this, DeSean Watson meeting with the Falcons today, but he also met with the Saints, the Panthers, and the Browns over the last few days here. So everybody's re-interested in DeSean Watson, and this is why exactly right here. DeSean Watson will not face criminal charges after 10 women filed complaints accusing him of sexual assault or misconduct. So the legal side, the criminal side, DeSean Watson has been kind of found kind of innocent. They took it to a grand jury. They presented their evidence in front of a grand jury, and the grand jury was like, yeah, no, we don't really see anything bad here. This is not a case. It's not going to go to trial. And the criminal charges kind of just get dismissed. The civil lawsuits are still there. All 22 civil lawsuits are still there, but once again, civil versus criminal, totally different things. For civil lawsuits, you just kind of need to be like, yeah, 51%. I'm thinking about like 51%. Yeah, he did do it. That's enough to really kind of convict in civil lawsuits. And once again, he's not going to go to jail for the civil suits. It's only going to be monetary based and all that. Where with criminal charges, you got to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, and the grand jury did not think that, and the charges would be, the sentencing would be more severe than just paying money. He would have to do time on the criminal charges. So now that teams know, hey, he ain't going to jail. He may have to pay a lot of women, but he ain't going to jail, so he can still play for the squad here. So now teams are reaching out, trying to get DeSean Watson on their team, and I believe, if I'm reading everything right here and keeping up with everything right here, DeSean Watson is only visiting teams where they kind of have offered a trade proposal to the Texans. So it seems like the Texans aren't allowing DeSean Watson to visit a team that they have not gotten a kind of an initial trade from these teams. So the fact that, the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, the Browns, and this is what starts at all, the Browns here. These 4 teams are truly committed of getting DeSean Watson and may have even kind of proposed a trade already to the Houston Texans. So when DeSean Watson wants to be like, yeah, I want to go here, I like it here the best, Houston could be like, okay, we'll kind of work with you a little bit, and the deal can go through, no problem. So, DeSean has a lot of interest from those 4 teams: the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, and the Browns. And before we get into the whole Browns controversy, let's read this last thing by DeSean Watson's lawyer. This came out the time that the criminal charges have been dropped about last week. We haven't been able to get to it, but we still got it here. So, this is by DeSean Watson's lawyer after the criminal charges were dismissed, saying, quote, "We are delighted that the grand jury has looked at the matter thoroughly and reached the same conclusion we did. DeSean Watson did not commit any crimes and is not guilty of any offenses. Now that the criminal investigations have been completed, we are happy to move forward with the civil case depositions. We will vigorously defend those cases with every ounce we have. There were no crimes here, but there is a plaintiff's attorney churning up negative press and churning up his clients hoping for a payday. These cases have been the product of a lawyer maximizing his own personal publicity at the expense of others, including his own clients." Wow, the lawyer's going a little hard here on the other 22 women's lawyer. Damn. And then finish it by saying this: "It is time to let DeSean move on." So that's what Rusty Hardin, DeSean lawyer, said. And, this is what we all have to kind of, have to do a little bit better at. When somebody's found innocent or somebody is not charged and all that, we have to take that as fact, in that DeSean Watson is a little bit innocent on the criminal aspect side because the grand jury did not let it proceed. So we have to trust the justice system. We have to trust the criminal justice system and all that here. So we really have to kind of start looking at DeSean Watson in a little bit more of a favorable light. When this entire thing was going on, yeah, absolutely, hear both sides and take into account your own judgment and all that. But once a verdict comes down and all that, we have to kind of move on, let DeSean move on and kind of proceed as he is innocent. That's just something we as a society must do, because this is the institution that we are kind of, putting a lot of faith into. Whether the criminal justice system needs to be reformed, that's a whole different conversation. But what it is right now, we must kind of move on with DeSean Watson, kind of him being innocent. Same thing like when we say we can't assume everybody's lying to us. We do kind of have to hold people to their face value. And if they're telling us something, we kind of have to believe that they're not lying. Because if we just imagine everybody's lying all the time, we can't progress as a society, folks. Take everything into account, absolutely. But, if people are saying one thing, we can't just be like, oh, well, they're lying, so it's not true. It's just like, nah, we can't think that. That's not good for society moving forward. That's kind of how we kind of get wrapped up on what's real and what's fake. And now we don't know what's real and what's fake because everyone's just assuming everybody's lying and all that. So it just gets messy in that. If you want to kind of, retool society, that's fine. That could be a whole different discussion. But where we are currently, we have to take DeSean Watson being kind of found innocent in the grand jury indictment. We have to kind of take that as face value. That is the truth. That is exactly what happened. DeSean Watson is innocent at this point. All right, so that is everything that kicked off what we are about to talk about here, because now everybody is somehow defending Baker Mayfield, and where the hell did that come from? Because we know that the Browns are interested in DeSean Watson. That's why DeSean Watson visited the team, and Baker Mayfield did not like that. And I definitely understand Baker Mayfield. Hey, I'm the guy. Kevin Stefanski just doubled down on me this offseason and told me, hey, I'm rocking with Baker Mayfield. We're rocking with Baker Mayfield again. And we talked about that story. We were like, oh, Kevin, I don't know if that's the right thing. But Kevin Stefanski came out and said, hey, we're rocking with Baker Mayfield again. We're going to run it back and all that. So we were like, that's fine if that's what Kevin Stefanski wants to do. But we are going to hold Kevin Stefanski to that. And if they don't get better, then, it's done with Kevin Stefanski and it's done with Baker Mayfield. So Kevin Stefanski now kind of going back on initially endorsing Baker Mayfield for the 2022 season. So that should be the biggest thing we should all be keying in on. Why is Kevin Stefanski now moving off of Baker Mayfield when he's been, his biggest supporter ever since he's gotten here? We need to really kind of keep that in mind, folks, and we'll come back to that. But what kicked off this entire thing right here after Baker Mayfield kind of hears, and this was at 10:03 last night, folks. I mean, this was real late at night, and this is what I'm saying. If you wanted to have these crazy takes at 10:03 p.m. when it's late at night and you're tired and maybe work didn't go good for you that day, and you're in a bad mood, and maybe something happened to you, and maybe your dinner didn't turn out as good as you thought it was. Maybe you were thinking about that steak in your fridge all day long at that long day of work, and then you're ready to cook it, but it just didn't come out. Maybe you overcooked it. Maybe now it's maybe it's like well done, and obviously nobody wants a well done steak. You want medium rare, the perfect temperature. We all know this. So maybe you overcooked the steak. Maybe everything's not going right and all that. So if you wanted to have this take at 10:03 p.m. last night, that's fine. But once again, the fact that y'all woke up and are doubling down on this take, this is where we have the issue with it, folks. So, Baker Mayfield, after he hears that DeSean Watson has visited the Browns, he tweets out this. He says, Cleveland. The past 4 years have been nothing short of truly life-changing since I heard my name called in the draft to go to Cleveland. This is not a message with hidden meaning. Oh, I like this. Baker Mayfield's like, I'm not Riddling over here. I'm not the Riddler. I am not a villain. I am not Aaron Rodgers. What does he say? This is not a message with hidden meaning. He's going to tell us straight like it is, unlike Riddler Rodgers, who everything is hidden meaning. Once again, the whole gratitude is cryptic. Yes, Aaron, your whole gratitude is cryptic, okay? But Baker Mayfield, putting it bluntly, this is not a message with hidden meaning. So let's not kind of look into it and take him at face value. What is Baker Mayfield saying? Continuing on here. This is strictly to thank the city of Cleveland for embracing my family and me. We have made many memories and shared growing in this process through all the ups and downs. I have no clue what happens next, which is the meaning behind the silence I have had during the duration of this process. I can only control what I can, which is trusting in God's plan throughout this process. I have given this franchise everything I have. That is something I've always done at every stage and at every level. And that will not change wherever I take my next snap. Whatever happens, I just want to say thank you to the fans who truly embraced who I am and the mentality that aligned so well with this city's hardworking people. Cleveland will always be a part of Emily and my story, and we will always be thankful for the impact it has had, and we will have in our lives. Sincerely, Baker Reagan Mayfield, putting the middle name in there to truly kind of drive home the point. So Baker Mayfield hears, hey, DeSean Watson may be taking your job, and that's unfortunate here. But now, everybody is just saying Baker Mayfield is good. Where did this come from, folks? Baker Mayfield is not good. Folks, we have to remember, he took a huge step back. Remember, we were loving the Browns in 2020, folks. We loved everything about it. They went 11-5. They got to the divisional round. They get to the divisional round of the playoffs. What do they lose? Lost divisional round of the playoffs. Fantastic. That's great. That was great. That was a great year. Baker Mayfield played good and all that. Yeah, we were loving the Browns in 2020, but we saw them take a huge step back, and we can't be taking a step back year two with Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield, especially with all the weapons that he had out here, folks. And the biggest thing is these completion percentage numbers. This is really the only stat where we can just kind of take it without context and be like, oh, this is not good. Like, completion percentage is that one true stat where you just look at it and you know whether he's good or not. And obviously, you still want to do your due diligence and watch the film and all that. We've done that the last 2 years, folks. But these completion percentage numbers by Baker Mayfield are so abysmal, folks. Last year, 2020, when they went 11-5, he only threw 62%. That's not that great, folks. We call that the low bar. We say 62 to 65 is good, but, we really want to see kind of more towards 65, and if you're above 65, that's what we're truly talking about. So the fact that Baker Mayfield, in the best season that he has ever had, only threw 62%. He did throw 63% his rookie year, but we did not see him progress from that rookie year. We have seen him decline since that rookie year. So we have to take that out as like a little bit of an outlier year, that rookie year. So, Baker Mayfield. bad completion percentage numbers, folks. 62% in 2020, and then this season, once again, that huge step back, only 60%. You dropped 2 percentage points on the second year with Kevin Stefanski. You should be getting better. When you bring in a new head coach, when you bring in a new offense coordinator, you should be getting better every single year, not take a drastic step back from an 11-5 season to 6-8, especially with all the talent that Baker Mayfield has had on this roster. 2 great running backs, a really good offensive-minded head coach, OBJ, who just won a ring without him, and I feel like that's the biggest thing. Why are we not focusing in on that? OBJ left Baker Mayfield, folks. And then won a ring instantly without the man. And we saw Baker Mayfield continue to get worse and worse. So he had OBJ. He had 2 great running backs, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. He had Jarvis Landry. He had a good tight end. He had an offensive mind coach. The defense was real solid. And he still only went 6-8. Never clutch. We talked about that the entirety of last season and this season. The only thing that we didn't love about the Browns in 2020 was the unclutch ability by Baker Mayfield. All the fumbles. Potential game-winning or game-tying drives not resulting in any points because he can't get it done on 4th down and all that. We tracked that all 2020 and all 2021, and this man is one of the unclutchest quarterbacks that there is. But now everybody's kind of praising Baker Mayfield and talking him up like he's good, and this is where we have the biggest problem with it. Everybody's saying that Baker Mayfield should go to the Colts and not Jimmy G. Like, Baker Mayfield is better than Jimmy G, folks. This is what people are saying, that Baker Mayfield is better than Jimmy G, and I truly don't get any of that, folks. Jimmy G, he's gotten to the Super Bowl year 1 with the 49ers. He got to the playoffs, the conference finals this season. So what are we doing? What are we absolutely doing in 2 of his 3 years? Remember 2020, he was injured. But, for 3 of the years here, the man is good. Getting to the Super Bowl, getting to the conference finals, and you're telling me that Baker Mayfield is better than Jimmy Garoppolo? What the heck? What the heck, folks, are y'all talking about? And Jimmy Garoppolo's got these great completion percentage numbers and is really kind of only 2 full years with the 49ers. 69% in 2019. That's when they got to the Super Bowl. 69% at 3,900 yards. And then this season, 68%. So this man is accurate. This man is able to move the ball. And look at the weapons Jimmy Garoppolo had. He didn't have an OBJ. He didn't have a Jarvis Landry. He had Brandon Ayuk, rookie year. Okay, Brandon Ayuk is good, but he's not an A1 tier 1 receiver. He's got Deebo Samuel, who's more of a running back than an actual receiver. So where are the weapons? Where are the offensive help with Jimmy Garoppolo? You give Jimmy Garoppolo, OBJ, and Jarvis Landry, and Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt. Yeah, the man is going to be looking spectacular. But the fact that Baker Mayfield can't do anything with great weapons, and then we see OBJ go to the Rams and win a ring, no problem. What are we talking about, folks? So everybody's big on Baker Mayfield this morning when y'all were just clowning him the entire regular season because OBJ's dad put out a tape of all the missed opportunities that Baker Mayfield missed of connecting with OBJ, and y'all were making fun of Baker Mayfield during that process. Then once he left, once OBJ left to go to the Rams, y'all made fun of Baker Mayfield again. And then once OBJ kept winning in the playoffs, y'all made fun of Baker Mayfield again. And then when OBJ won the ring, y'all made fun of Baker Mayfield again. So I don't understand where this complete 180 flip from the season that we just wrapped up. It's only been a month, and we all forget what we learned in that entire season in just 1 month. So I just don't understand why everybody's flipping on Baker Mayfield. Oh, now he's good. He was never good. Even when they went 11-5, he wasn't good. He wasn't good, folks. He was okay. He was manageable. But I just don't understand why everyone's big on Baker Mayfield now. He's been trash. The man's not done anything significant with the Browns. I just don't get it, folks. I don't get the complete 180. And that's where we had the big problem with it. If y'all weren't clowning Baker Mayfield in the regular season, that's fine. That's fine. Then y'all can still love him. But y'all actively clown the man. And we saw what this man is. He's not clutch. Where Jimmy Garoppolo, do we have to remind you again? Final week of the regular season, down at halftime against the Rams in SoFi Stadium, and the man comes back. So where are we going with this? Where are we going that Baker Mayfield's better than Jimmy Garoppolo? In what? In what category? Give me one category that Baker Mayfield's better than Jimmy Garoppolo in. Give me one. It's not completion percentage. It's not touchdown to interception ratio. It's not passing yards. Is it rushing yards? Is it rushing yards? Is Baker Mayfield's 150 rushing yards a season? Is that better than Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, look at this, folks. Baker Mayfield's rushing totals from his rookie year in 2018, 131, 141, 165, 134. That's not good. That's not a dual threat quarterback. What do we got with Jimmy Garoppolo? Jimmy Garoppolo. Where's his rushing yards? Yeah, his rushing yards, 11, 62, 51. So, okay, Baker Mayfield is the better rusher than Jimmy Garoppolo. Is that what y'all want to say? Because I will agree. Baker Mayfield is better at running the football than Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the only category where we can say that Baker Mayfield is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not clutch ability. It's not getting it done in the big games. It's not getting it done on the final drive of the game to win the game and all that. We've seen Baker Mayfield flounder time and time again. It's not the accuracy. It's not leadership. Baker Mayfield's not really the best leader. He's an okay leader. But I'm taking Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers are still struggling to trade him away because they know that, hey, he's at least getting us to the playoffs. When do we start knocking quarterbacks that get you to the playoffs, that got you to a Super Bowl on a yearly consistent basis? When do we start knocking quarterbacks that had success in the postseason compared to other quarterbacks that can't do anything in the postseason because they can't even get there one, and when they do get there, it's the only time, so they're in a big shock. The fact that the Browns got worse from 2020 to 2021 is really all we need to see. The fact that Kevin Stefanski is willing to move off of Baker Mayfield now after doubling and tripling down on Baker Mayfield all year long, all offseason long so far, that should be the telling story of how bad Baker Mayfield is. But now everybody's on the Baker Mayfield train. Skip Bayless is big on Baker now. We got Albert Breer right here because why we say the Colts, because we get this right here. Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield's preferred destination in a trade is the Indianapolis Colts here. And now everyone's got this kind of story that Baker Mayfield is going to go to the Colts, that the Colts even want Baker Mayfield. Why would the Colts want Baker Mayfield? Can somebody tell me why the Colts would want Baker Mayfield? They just got swindled on Carson Wentz. You think they're going to go after Baker Mayfield now after what Carson Wentz just did, folks? Of course not. Baker Mayfield's not proven. Carson Wentz was kind of proven, a little tad proven. And he bungled the biggest games all year long. Couldn't beat the Jaguars the last week of the season. But you think they're going to go with Baker Mayfield now after Phillip Rivers couldn't get it done in the playoffs, after Carson Wentz couldn't even get to the playoffs? They're going to go with Baker Mayfield, who wins 6 games a year, who had one outlier season and still looked bad in that one outlier season. We saw the inflated completion percentage numbers in 2020 because of no fans in the stands. And this is Baker Mayfield's inflated completion percentage number. 62%. That's inflated. We saw Josh Allen throw 70 in 2020 and he came down a little bit. This was his inflated completion percentage at 62%. And the Colts are going to be like, yeah, let's go get Baker Mayfield after Carson Wentz just literally shit the bed on us. Literally poop all over the bed. The Colts are still cleaning up the poop of the bed that Carson Wentz had. Like, Baker Mayfield would diarrhea the bed, and there's no getting diarrhea stains out of the bed, folks. There's nothing. I just don't get it, because here we go. Albert Breer says it now, too. What the hell is this? NBC puts out this tweet saying Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo. Kind of talking about, who's better and who's going to go to the Colts. And Albert Breer says this. This is just me, but I'm sure he meant to say, but if I were the Colts. He says, but if I were the Colts, I'd be intrigued with the idea of having Baker Mayfield as the quarterback of the team that I've built, and Frank Reich's creative enough to build in things Lincoln Riley once did for Baker. Oh, so Frank Reich, who actually had experience with Carson Wentz, he couldn't be creative enough for Carson Wentz, but he's going to be creative enough for Baker Mayfield? It's just like, what are we saying? What are we doing? It's only been a month from the NFL season stopped, folks, and y'all have really not retained any information that we learned throughout that entire year. What are we talking about? That Baker Mayfield's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Chris Sims says this: if the trade assets are equal, I'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Jimmy Garoppolo. Could Baker have done with the 49ers what Jimmy has? Absolutely, and more. Baker's not clutch. Last game of the season, Baker Mayfield is not going into SoFi Stadium down at halftime and beating Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Baker Mayfield's not doing that. He's not clutch at all, folks. Go back to any game in 2020 where he had one of his best completion percentage years, 62%. Not clutch at all. Watch him in that playoff game against the Chiefs where didn't Patrick Mahomes go down? And Baker Mayfield still couldn't pull it out in the fourth quarter? So what are we talking about? Once again, Jimmy Garoppolo is clutch. I don't understand where this whole narrative that Jimmy Garoppolo is bad and is trash and is not clutch. He has a little bit of high interception numbers. That's the only knock on Jimmy Garoppolo. He throws a little bit of too many picks. But once again, he's never had these great receivers that Baker has had. He's working with Brandon Ayuk rookie year. He's working with Thibodeau Samuel, who's a running back. You give Jimmy Garoppolo OBJ? Yeah, let's see what Jimmy Garoppolo can do with that. But what are we doing here with Baker Mayfield? Y'all just clowned him all year long because he was not getting OBJ the ball. That's who you want on your team? A quarterback that won't get your A1 tier 1 weapon the ball? You'd rather take that over Jimmy Garoppolo who got to a Super Bowl? Folks, I'm going manic. I'm going manic over here. Y'all made me go manic when I'm sick. I can't believe what people are saying out here. And you can have your own opinions. That's fine. That's fine. But this is the opinion you want to have? Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it, and it was all night, and it was all day. I thought at some point somebody would come to their senses and be like, no, what are we talking about here? Literally, what are we talking about here? Can we stop the nonsense? Baker Mayfield is the quarterback you want over Jimmy G? Could Baker have done with the 49ers what Jimmy has? Absolutely and more? You're telling me Baker Mayfield can win a Super Bowl? At 62%, his best year completion percentage in an inflated year because there was no fans in the stands, no pressure from the fans, no noise from the fans. That's how Baker can only be good when there's no pressure from the fans yelling at him? I just don't get it, folks. I truly don't. I try to find where y'all are coming from, but this one, the Mason Rudolph story, I cannot even find a sliver of evidence to support these takes, to support these claims. I truly cannot believe what I'm seeing, and it's everybody. And the only person I don't think it's Shannon Sharp. And I don't know if Shannon Sharp truly believes that Baker Mayfield is trash or if he's just doing the classic, hey, you say one thing, I say the other, so we contradict, so we can, argue, so we can make television, so we can get ratings, so we can all get money. I don't know. I can't tell what's real anymore. But it's the most crazy things I've ever heard that now everybody wants Baker Mayfield over Jimmy Garoppolo. When did that happen? When did that switch happen, folks? We talk here every day. What's in our bio? What's kind of our mission statement, if you will, on the show? Sports narrative change / get more clear every day. We adjust accordingly. That's the show. We're here every day. We're seeing what everybody says every single day. We're talking to everybody every single day. When did we go that Baker Mayfield was trash, couldn't get the ball to OBJ, to now is better than Jimmy Garoppolo and would have won a Super Bowl with the 49ers over Jimmy Garoppolo? When did we go from that, folks? When did that transition take? Because I did not see it. I saw a complete 180 overnight because Baker Mayfield played the heartstrings, because Baker Mayfield said, oh, poor me. Well, maybe if you didn't throw 62%, nobody would be talking about DeSean Watson for the Browns. Maybe you're the reason why they want to go after DeSean Watson. So because Baker Mayfield played at your heartstrings, because Aaron Rodgers plays at your heartstrings, you love these people? That's what I'm talking about, folks. Language. You can do anything with language, folks. I'm telling y'all, language is so key to everything we do. You just phrase it. Baker Mayfield, everybody's eating that up. Everybody's eating up this phrase right here, folks. Let me get back to it. Everybody's eating up this phrase right now. This is not a message with hidden meaning. Everybody's eating that up like cake right now. Oh my God, Baker Mayfield being upfront and blunt about it. Not like Aaron Rodgers, who, riddles around everything. But wow. Oh, maybe we were wrong. Maybe Baker Mayfield is a good guy. Yeah, and he is a good guy. The commercials are great. The Browns commercials, the insurance commercials are great. Once again, I'm not knocking Baker Mayfield, the guy. Seems like a great guy. But according to on the football field, could be better. So, the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo literally gets to the playoffs every single time he can be healthy for a season, all right, you want to knock Jimmy Garoppolo for not being healthy, that's fine. First year, try to run towards ACL, unfortunate. Got injured again. Last season, okay. Okay, longevity-wise, health-wise, okay, maybe Baker Mayfield has that. But when they're both healthy, Jimmy Garoppolo's hands down better. So I just don't understand, folks. I just don't understand sometimes, y'all. I don't understand y'all sometimes, and I try to understand y'all. I try to see where y'all are coming from. I give everything a fair shake, folks. We don't have any biases here, folks. We don't say anything for shock value. We try to see everybody's point of view. We like to see everybody. I want to see all the information. When was the last time we said, oh, well, I just want this information, just this information? No, we take all the information. What do we do the entire regular season, folks? We break up an entire week's worth, or an entire day. We break down an entire week's, 1 week of games throughout the entire week. Monday, the breakdown. Wednesday, the film study. Talking about what happened, folks. But we're talking through. We're looking at the stats. We're looking at the film. We're looking at what y'all are saying all week long on just one game. And then I wake up to this news that everybody's still on Baker Mayfield. I truly don't get it, folks. I truly just cannot see at all why people are saying Baker Mayfield's good now. I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. I don't agree with it. Absolutely. I don't get it. I think it's wild to say. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's irresponsible to say, folks. Let me refresh the timeline. We got anybody supporting Baker Mayfield? Let me try to get a nice example for y'all up here, because it was just all night, all day. I had to go to bed early last night to try to get rid of this cold. That was literally the last thing I did. I tweeted out because I saw it last night. And I tweeted this out last night at like 10:30, folks. I said the Colts were just majorly let down by Carson Wentz. They are not going after Baker Mayfield. They're not doing it. It's wild, folks. It's really wild what sometimes y'all say. Okay. Well, we got to move on because we got to walk through the entire March Madness bracket. So let's move on to that. I just really wanted to talk about the Baker Mayfield thing, and there's so much more NFL stuff to talk about, but we just have no time in today's show, so truly unfortunate. But we will try to get to everything. But I had to expedite this because, folks. All right, let's see if we can calm down a little bit. I'm literally sweating over here, which may be good for the cold. I don't know. But if I'm still sick tomorrow, it's because of y'all. It's because of y'all were so blasphemous on Baker Mayfield, so... Y'all are causing people to get ill over here. You want people to get ill? This is your prerogative? To say such outlandish thing that people get ill? All right. Let's move on. Here we go. All right. Let's move on to March Madness. All right, where we got to run throughout the entire bracket, the entire tournament, using our algorithm. But there is one thing I want to kind of tweak a little bit in our algorithm. And once again, like I said at the top of the show, we can't go back and load the teams that just got eliminated last night in the first four. We can't go back and run the algorithm again. And you see what happens, folks? It just puts the winner. We try to do Texas A&M CC, and it just puts in Texas Southern. Same thing when you try to do Wyoming, it just loads in Indiana. So we can't rerun the algorithm, which is bad, but there is one thing I want to tweak a little bit, and it's because of this. Like, we ran the algorithm last night, and we went 1 of 1. We hit the Indiana winning. And they took care of business. They covered the 4.5 spread, everything like that. Looks really good. But we did also run the algorithm on the Texas A&M versus Texas Southern game, and it spat out that Texas A&M was going to win, which obviously did not happen. So what I want to fine tool here is that Texas A&M had this game in their hand, folks. They had like a 3-5 lead with about 5 minutes left. It was rubber banding from like 3-5, but they got the lead late in the fourth quarter. But then they beefed it, and one of the things that they beefed it with was the missed free throws, and it was really kind of abysmal here. And what we have on free throws in our algorithm is a low Low factor. So I'm going to turn that up to a high factor here because they missed 10 free throws last night. They only lose by 9, so that's a little bit of play. But even more of what was a little bit of alarming last night by Texas A&M was so they were down like 10 with about like a minute and about a minute 45 left, and they got a 3, cut it down to 7. Then they got the inbound steal, got fouled, went to the free throw line, only made 1. So instead of cutting the lead down to 6, they cut it down to 7. Instead of cutting the lead down to 5, they cut the lead down to 6. Then they got another steal, and then they get fouled again and miss both free throws. So, I mean, free throws were a huge reason why Texas A&M lost down the stretch last night. So our algorithm was good enough to be like, hey, this team's going to be winning late in the fourth quarter, but the free throws were the kind of the one thing that held this Texas A&M team back. So let's go into our algorithm here. And I want to adjust that one thing, the free throws. And once again, I really wanted to change the free throws from low to high importance and then rerun the algorithm to see if it would have gave us the actual results from last night. Unfortunately, we can't do that. And we don't really have any more time to play around with the algorithm because everything has to be in by kind of noonish tomorrow. So I'm gonna change it right here from free throw percentage to low to high importance, and hopefully that helps us and truly kind of makes our algorithm 100% bulletproof out here. So we go every single pick. We get every single pick right in the March Madness tournament. So we changed that in our algorithm. Fantastic. Also, shout out to Texas Southern for getting the win, getting into the big dance, and also shout out to Indiana for also claiming that 12th seed, beating out Wyoming. Alrighty, so now that we have our algorithm, this is, I liked everything else that we put importance on. Watching those two games, everything was kind of playing out right, but the free throws truly hurt Texas A&M last night. So that's what we're changing here. So now that we have our algorithm all good to go, let's start calling games. Let's start picking winners, and we can bet tomorrow throughout the entire day. Fantastic. So we can take what our algorithm says to see if the spreads are good and all that. So the algorithm is going to serve more than one purpose, folks. It's not just helping us build a bracket. It's also going to give us some nice insight on how we should be betting. I mean, there's 4 straight days of betting, folks. What are we going to do? Not bet that? Come on, folks. Can we be real? Can we be serious here? Of course we're betting March Madness. And that was like another thing. The free throws. Like if they hit those free throws last night, at least maybe they don't win, but at least they cover the plus 3.5. You know what I mean? So just the free throws really let us down by Texas A&M last night, especially down the stretch. Almost, kind of came back down 10 with like 2 minutes left. It was kind of impressive. But the free throw line truly hurt them. All right. So here we go. Let's start. Let's do it like this. We'll start in each conference, go all the way to the Final Four, and then we'll do that. So we're not doing round 1 and then round 2. We'll go the West. We'll do the South. We'll do the East and the Midwest. But let's start here at the Western Conference of the March Madness bracket here. So we got Gonzaga versus Georgia State, that looks like. So let's run them in our algorithm here. Get these two teams loaded in. We got Gonzaga versus, that looks like Georgia State. So looking at some G's here. Once again, this website is not updated, so it doesn't show what the actual teams are. You have to kind of like scroll over them, which is kind of weird. But there's Gonzaga and Georgia State, GA State. I'm almost sure that's Georgia. Let's see. Georgia State, there it is. Alrighty, and we get Gonzaga winning. And I misread this yesterday on the show when we said they were kind of outputting the score. They don't output the score. They output a number out of 100. So basically, whoever has the higher number is the team that wins. And, the bigger the number, probably the bigger winning margin and all that. But here we go for the first matchup up. Number 1 Gonzaga versus number 16 Georgia State. Yeah, Gonzaga's got it, folks. Gonzaga's got it. 73 out of 100 credit points, where Georgia State only has 47. So a number 1 seed winning. Yeah, we all know that's going to happen. But here we go, and these are, where the algorithm helps us. The 8 and 9 matchups, the 12 and 5. Everybody is talking about the 12 and 5 matchups. That there's always one spoil every day or every March Madness, and they tell you, hey, bet some 12s and all that. So that's all. That's like all the March Madness information you will hear, and something that we've known forever, folks. I mean, everybody brings up this stat all the time, which that's fine. I've got no problem with it, but it's like okay, and that's where can we all just like move on? Can we all just get like deeper and deeper and stop like rehashing old things. Everybody always brings up the 12-5 matchup. Always people bring up like the 7-13 or something like that. But when people talk March Madness, folks, they will bring this up 1,000 times. Oh, the 5-12 seed, there's going to be a 12 seed upsetting a 5. Like, yeah, we know, we get it. We all know this. You bring it up every single year. It's like, what else is new? Let's get a new trend. Let's get a new stat. Let's evolve. Let's stop going in the past, okay? So there's that, folks. All right, but here we go. Next matchup up, we got Boise at Memphis. An 8 Boise versus the 9 Memphis seed here. Let's run them through the algorithm. We got the Boise. Let's load in the Memphis. And we got Memphis winning pretty good here. 58 credit points for Memphis out of only 37 for Boise State. And once again, these points are based on our algorithm. We got the advanced stats, we got basic stats, free throw percentage, defensive, offensive efficiency, block shots, steals, seed, points per game, defensive points per game. And we weight it low, medium, or high. And this is kind of where these numbers are coming from. So Memphis getting 58. Boise State only getting 37, and this is the 9 seed beating an 8 seed, folks. So one upset so far. Love to see it. Memphis moving on to face Gonzaga. All right, here we go. Next game up here. We got UConn at Northern Michigan State University. Is that NMSU? All right, let's see if we can find that. But here we go. UConn versus NMSU. UConn. NMSU, North Mexico. Yeah, North Mexico State. Yeah, okay, North Mexico State. All right, but we have UConn winning 51 points out of 100, where New Mexico State has 45 points out of 100. And if these numbers do get close, I'm talking maybe about 2. Should we set the number at 2 or 3 points within each other? Then that's where we're going to kind of read the numbers that they're spitting out to us, and also look at the teams with potential NBA players on their team, and that's going to be kind of the tiebreaker. So if some of these teams are within kind of 2 or 3 points within each other, we'll use some other tie-breaking scenarios. But 58 compared to 45, that's an easy win for UConn right there. All right, next matchup here in the Western Conference, we got Arkansas versus Vermont, the 4 versus 13 matchup. Here we go. Arkansas, and this is a team to watch out for. Arkansas is good, folks. If I was just kind of, picking the winners based on, my knowledge that I've kind of picked up of college basketball, I think I would have Arkansas going pretty deep here. So we'll see if the algorithm agrees with us. But we are going to stick to the algorithm. We are going to let the algorithm determine, because once again, it is all just kind of random and who knows and all that. So let's kind of use this algorithm that we know is a little trusted, little tried and true. But here we go. And this is where we're going to have our first little tiebreaker. And yeah, we were just big on Arkansas, but this is close, folks. Our algorithm gives Arkansas 49.7 points, where they give Vermont 49.2 points. So this is a 0.5 point difference. Oh my goodness. So let's go a little bit into the big stats here. The 3-point percentage by Vermont is 37% shooting 3 compared to Arkansas only 31. So that's a huge factor right there. 3-point shooting, and we want to see that 3-point shooting high, and Arkansas has abysmal 3-point shooting here. So we may call the upset on Vermont here, kind of just because of that stat. Let's talk about points in the paint per game. Vermont's getting 34. Arkansas is only getting 32. Points per game, they're both putting up 76. Let's get rebounds, offensive rebounds a game here. And this is a case for Arkansas. They get 11 offensive rebounds a game, where Vermont only gets 7. Wow. Man, oh man, second chance points, 12 for Arkansas, 9 for Vermont, kind of close there. Rebounds per game, it goes to Arkansas, 35 rebounds game compared to Vermont at only 32. But this is real close, folks. And what do we got? Do we have any potential NBA players here? I kind of took like the top 30 potential NBA draft prospects and kind of listed them out here, and Arkansas has none. Arkansas doesn't have any. Vermont doesn't have any either here. So wow, this is crazy, folks, and I swear I did not set this up. I know it's kind of coincidental, but yeah, we're going to call the upset. We're calling the upset here. We're taking Vermont over Arkansas, folks, and I just gushed over Arkansas. That's why we're going with the algorithm, because we watched like 2 weeks of college basketball. The algorithm knows a little bit more. So we're calling a 13-4 upset here. Vermont knocks off Arkansas according to our algorithm. Wow, wow, wow. Alrighty. Next game up, we got Bama versus Rutgers or Notre Dame. So before we look at that matchup, let's walk through the play-in game tonight, where we have Notre Dame versus Rutgers. This should be a good one. The winner gets the 11th seed and has to face Alabama, round 1. So here we go. Rutgers, let's get them loaded up. Rutgers, ours. Where are we at? Rutgers and Notre Dame. Alrighty, and the winner of tonight's play-in game is potentially going to be Notre Dame. They got 38 out of 100 points, where Rutgers only has 36.6. So another closer game here. Notre Dame at 38% three-point percentage. We love that number. Way better than Rutgers' number, and that's a high 30. I don't care if like one team is like 33 and the other team's like 29. We're not going to kind of way three-point shooting if that's the case, but if a team's like close to 40, over 40, yeah, we're truly going to use that as one of the key tiebreakers here. So got to see great three-point percentage. Points in the paint per game, Rutgers has it, 31 compared to 28. Blocked shots per game, we got 3 for Rutgers, 2 for Notre Dame. Offensive rebounds per game, Rutgers at 10, Notre Dame at 7. Maybe we call the upset here. Rutgers beating Notre Dame. I guess it's not an upset if they're both a potential 11th seed here. But Rutgers and Notre Dame both don't have a potential NBA player either. So we are going to, I think we're going to call Rutgers with the win here. Man, but that three-point percentage number by Notre Dame, that's really what's calling me, honestly. All right, we are going to go with Notre Dame officially right here, kind of because of that three-point number. Everything else is kind of close, and the algorithm tells us Notre Dame by about kind of a 2-point margin. So we are going to go with Notre Dame tonight, but now let's run through the algorithm. Alabama versus Notre Dame. So here we go, Alabama versus Notre Dame. We've got Alabama weighting 50 out of 100 points compared to Notre Dame's 38. So we're taking Alabama with the win. Alrighty, next matchup up here. We got Texas Tech versus Montana State. Mon State. I'm assuming that's potentially Montana. But let's get Texas Tech. Let's get Mon State loaded in here. Montana State. Bingo, bango. Yeah. Okay. And Texas Tech. Let's get them loaded in here as well. All right, and we've got a winner. Oh, another close one here, folks, but another potential upset. Wow. Montana State, 49 out of 100 points, where Texas Tech only have 48. So real close. They're predicting Montana State. The three-point percentage by Montana State is at 37% compared to Texas Tech's is only 32%. So that's big. Points in the paint per game, both at 34. Offensive rebounds per game, we get Texas Tech at 10, Montana at 8. Second chance points at 11 for Texas Tech, 10 for Montana State. Rebounds per game, both at 33. So real close altogether. Montana State with the better three-point percentage shooter. And Texas Tech and Montana State both don't have a potential NBA player on their roster, folks. So another upset. Our algorithm is calling upsets, folks, here. We're taking 14 seed Montana State over number 3 seed Texas Tech. Wow. And we're only in the first division, folks. The West. Wow. All right, here we go. Now we get Michigan State versus Davidson, 10-7 matchup. Let's get them loaded into our algorithm. Davidson, not Montana State. We got Davidson and Michigan State. Michigan State. All right. And we got Michigan State here, 48 out of 100 points for Michigan State. Davidson, 41 out of 100. So that is a win for Michigan State. And then the final first-round matchup in the West, we got number 2 Duke versus number 15 CS Full. The hell, like some of these abbreviations, it's like, who the hell knows this? You know what I mean? The hell is CS Full? Coastal, I don't know, folks. So let's go to the C's. Cal State Fullerton. The heck is that? The heck is Cal State Fullerton, folks? That sounds made up. But they're going against number 2 Duke, so I think that's going to be a loss. Yes? Let's see. Alrighty, and the algorithm does agree. Duke wins 57 out of 100. Cal State Fullerton 40 out of 100. So that's a win for Duke, and that completes the first round in the Western Conference. So now let's go to the second round. Going to the 1-9 matchup, Gonzaga versus Memphis. Can Memphis keep up the big Cinderella story? Let's take a look. Let's get Gonzaga. Let's get Memphis loaded in. Can Memphis take down number 1 Gonzaga? Can they do it? And they can't. Gonzaga 73 out of 100. Memphis at only 58.3. So that's a win for Gonzaga. Gonzaga advancing to the Sweet 16. Then we got UConn at Vermont now. Vermont, the 13 seed with the nice upset. You got to respect it. So here we go. Vermont versus UConn. Here we go. Where's UConn under? UConn under UConn or Connecticut? Might be under Connecticut. All right. Connecticut. There it is. All right. And we've got a winner here. UConn, 58 out of 100. Vermont, 49 out of 100. So, UConn. Vermont gets one upset. Can't do two. Then we get Montana State versus Alabama, the 6-14 matchup. Let's get Alabama, Montana State. Here we go. And we've got Alabama, but this is a close one, folks. 50 out of 100 from Alabama, 49.6 out of 100 for Montana State. So close. So let's go to some of our tiebreakers here. We get Montana State at 37% from 3, Alabama only at 31%. Points in the paint per game, 35 for Alabama, 34 for Montana State. Offensive rebounds a game, Alabama at 13, Montana at only 8. Wow, oh wow. And Alabama has a point guard that could potentially go to the NBA. So these are close numbers here, but Alabama with the better rebounds, the better boards, the potential NBA player. Montana State does hit better from 3, but everything else points to Alabama, so we will take Alabama over Montana State. And then the final matchup in the Western second round, we get Michigan State versus Duke. So let's load these two teams in our algorithm and see what they say. Duke versus Michigan State. 2-7 matchup. And we get Duke winning all day. 57.9 out of 100 points. Michigan State out of 48.6 out of 100. So a nice 9-point lead there, according to our algorithm. So Duke moves on to the Sweet 16. Then we got, here we go, the Sweet 16 matchup in the West. Gonzaga, number 1 Gonzaga versus number 5 UConn. Gonzaga, UConn, can number 1 continue their glory here in the Western Conference? Gonzaga wins 73 out of 100 credit points compared to UConn's 58.1. So Gonzaga truly going to be dominating this year. Watch out for them. And then here we go, Alabama and Duke. Alabama number 6, Duke number 2. Who takes it? Can Duke continue on? Does Alabama continue on? Let's see, Coach K's last year. He's got to go the distance. Let's see if it agrees. And yeah, Duke at 57.9 out of 100. Alabama at 50.7. So that's enough for us to claim Duke the winner. And we've got Gonzaga versus Duke. And I think it's going to say Gonzaga, folks, by pretty big margin. Let's see. Number 1 versus number 2, Gonzaga 73 out of 100, Duke 57.9. So Gonzaga reaching the Final 4 out of the West. Fantastic. Alrighty, now let's go to the South, folks. Here we go. Number 1, Arizona versus number 16, Wright or Bryant. So let's check out that number 16. We get Wright and Bryant. Let's see if we can find these schools. Wright State versus Bryant. Two big ol' Byron University Bulldogs. All right. And our algorithm shoots out Bryant by a convincing margin. 49 out of 100 for Bryant compared to 41.3 for Wright State. So Bryant with the win. Notre Dame with the win tonight, folks. So let's quickly go to what these spreads are. Bryant is plus 2.5. Oh, look at the value. Yeah. Bryant plus 2.5, calling an upset. Hopefully our retooled algorithm gets it right this time. And then for Notre Dame and Rutgers, we've got Notre Dame and Notre Dame -1. So add Bryant plus the 2.5. Add Notre Dame -1 to our 7 games we are betting on tonight. 5 in the NBA and the 2 playing tournament games. Fantastic. All right, so now we've got Bryant winning. Let's put in Arizona now, who's going to be facing Bryant. Alrighty, and they say Arizona wins by a big 20-point margin here. 69 out of 100 for Arizona, 49 out of 100 for Bryant. So Arizona wins, but Bryant, they get into the tournament. Not too shabby. All right, here we go. The 8-9 matchup in the South. We have already called 1 at 9 upsetting an 8 here. Let's see if we get another one. We get 8 Seton Hall versus number 9 TCU. All righty, here we go. TCU versus, I lost the other one. Seton Hall. They're always in the tournament, Seton Hall. They usually do pretty good. So let's see if it continues here this year. And we get Seton Hall winning by a nice convincing 10-point margin. 51 out of 100 for Seton Hall, 41 out of 100 for TCU. So we are going Seton Hall, number 8, beats number 9. All right, the 12-5 matchup here. We've already did not call 1-12 verse 5, but let's see if this is the 12 verse 5 that everybody keeps talking about. Number 5, Houston versus number 12, UAB. So load them up and see. There it is. UAB. Are they going to make me go to what actually UAB stands for? The hell is UAB, folks? Can somebody tell me what the hell UAB is? UAB, is it some Alabama school? UAB, yeah, something. But here we go. Close margin, 61 for UAB, 59 for Houston. So close matchup here, but this is kind of calling the upset. We get 38% field goal percentage for UAB. This is close, so we want to kind of go to the tiebreakers. UAB's got 38 from 3. Houston's shooting 34%. None of these teams have a potential NBA player. So UAB with the better three-pointer shooting. We love it. Points in the paint. Houston winning by 1, 35 points in the paint per game. UAB 34. What else do we get? Offensive rebounds a game. Houston at 13, UAB with 12, so everything's real close here. Second chance points, Houston at 13, UAB at 12. Rebounds per game, Houston at 36, UAB at 35, so everything is close here, but we're going to pick UAB. This is the 12-5 upset that everybody keeps talking about, folks. UAB knocks off Houston. Yeah. Now we're getting interesting here in March Madness. Tons of upsets so far, and it's only round 1. Wow. All righty, let's go to number 413, Illinois versus Chattanooga. Chattanooga, folks. Where's Chattanooga? Chattanooga's not even on here. The hell is that? Chattanooga. See, this is why. It's just so, like, what else? What else is going to be under? It's not under C's. Chattanooga? Y'all don't got Chattanooga on here? And once again, when it doesn't show you the names and you have to scroll through it all, doesn't make it any easier. There it is. Chattanooga's under the T's? The hell is that? All right, but we got Chattanooga loaded in. Now we load in Illinois. Illinois, there it is. All righty. And we've got Chattanooga. Oh, close one here. We've got to go to the tiebreakers. They give Chattanooga 48.3 out of 100, where Illinois is only at 48 out of 100. So a 0.3 difference here. But let's go into our tiebreakers. The three-point percentage. Illinois is at 36. Chattanooga's at 35, so close there. What else do we got here? Points in the paint per game. Chattanooga's at 33. Illinois is at 31. None of these teams have a potential NBA player on the roster. Gee, this is close, folks. Offensive rebounds. Illinois at 11. Chattanooga at 10. Second chance points, Illinois at 13, Chattanooga at 12. Rebounds per game, yeah, I think this might do it right here. This is a big margin right here. Illinois at 35 rebounds per game, Chattanooga at 32. So this one's close. Our algorithm says Chattanooga by 0.3, but our tiebreakers of what we truly want to see. Let's go to the free throws. Let's go to that. We added that, so let's see what free throws kind of say here. Free throws were the big, and look at this, Chattanooga, the free throw percentage is at 75%, Illinois at 71%. So if Chattanooga does win, it's because of the free throws, but everything else tells us Illinois, so we're going to go Illinois. All right, next matchup here, we got CSU versus Michigan. This should be good to find CSU. That may be Colorado State, so let's see. Hopefully it is. So we're not, yep, there it is, Colorado State, bingo, bango. And Michigan. No need to kind of look around for Michigan because it's Michigan. But here it is, Michigan. And, another upset. Oh, no, this is not an upset. Colorado State's a number 6 seed. What the hell is that? Never heard of them before. But they say 44 out of 100 credit points for Colorado State, where Michigan only gets 38. So a big win here for Colorado State at the 6th seed. All right, the 3-14 matchup in the South Conference. Tennessee versus Linwood? Elwood? Let's see what that stands for, folks. Elwood. I'm guessing Linwood. Linwood University. One of the best universities. Most prestigious universities, folks. You never heard of Linwood? Linwood? Longwood. Ah, damn. Thought it was Linwood. Longwood. All right, you never heard of Longwood University, folks? Come on. All right, Longwood versus Tennessee. Versus Tennessee. Here we go. And we got Tennessee winning a little close, but it's 4 points, so we're not really going to have to go into our tiebreakers for this. But Tennessee wins 53 out of 100 compared to Longwood's 49 out of 100. So still close, but also Tennessee does have a potential point guard going to the league, so that would be the tiebreaker. So everything's pointing to Tennessee. All right, last two games in the first round, we got number 7 Ohio State versus number 10 Loyola Chicago. All right, OSU versus Loyola Chicago. Here we go. Ohio, where art thou? Ohio. Here we go. Loyola Chicago, who, y'all know the old woman that they all gush over there in Loyola Chicago. Hopefully she's still alive because I don't want to be blasphemous, you know what I mean? So Loyola Chicago, here we go. And, Loyola Chicago with the upset at the 10-7 matchup. They give Loyola Chicago 44.4 out of 100 credit points, where Ohio State only 41 out of 100 credit points here. This can kind of trigger our Jeez Louise. This could trigger our potential tiebreakers here. We do have Ohio State having a potential power forward going into the league. 3-point percentage, we get Loyola Chicago at 38, Ohio State at 37. Points in the paint per game, Loyola Chicago at 30, Ohio State at 28. Offensive rebounds a game, Ohio State at 9, Loyola Chicago at 7. Second chance points, Ohio State at 10, Loyola Chicago at 8. Rebounds per game, 32 for Ohio State, 31 for Loyola Chicago. So real close here. Do we take our little tiebreaker of NBA players on the squad? Or is 3.4 enough? Is 3.4 high enough to 100% agree with our algorithm? We're going to go Ohio State. We're going to go with the NBA player on the squad, gets it done in the clutch. The algorithm calls the upset, but it's close enough that it triggers our tiebreakers. We take Ohio State. All right, then the 2-5, Villanova versus Delaware. Let's see what we got here. 2-15, Villanova, Delaware. Let's see. Villanova. I'm guessing Delaware. It's DEL. Sounds like Delaware. Looks like Delaware. And it's Delaware. Look at that. And this one's a 5-point margin. Villanova is only at 42.9. That's low for a 2 seed. I mean, we had Gonzaga at the 1 seed at like 76. So Villanova, ooh. But it's enough here. 5-point margin. 42.9 out of 100 for Villanova. 37.3 out of 100 for Delaware. So we take Villanova. All right, now let's go to the second rounds here in the South Conference. We got number 1 Arizona versus number 9 Seton Hall. Arizona versus Seton Hall. Let's see. Seton Hall. And we get Arizona winning by a 18-point margin. 69 out of 100 for Arizona. 51 out of 100 for Seton Hall. So Arizona moves on to the Sweet 16. Then we get UAB versus Illinois. The 12 beating the 5. Can they continue on? UAB. There it is. UAB versus Illinois. 12-4 matchup. Let's see. Another upset by UAB. Let's quickly take a look. Here we go. Illinois. The eyes. And look at this, UAB 61 out of 100 credit points, Illinois only 48. So yeah, UAB advancing to the Sweet 16. Look at them go, the 12 matchup. All right, then we get number 3 Tennessee versus number 6 CSU. Colorado State versus Tennessee. And we've got Tennessee winning 53 out of 100 compared to Colorado State's 44 out of 100. So Tennessee moving on to the Sweet 16. And then the last second round matchup, we got number 2 Villanova versus number 7 Ohio State. And Ohio State may be able to pull the upset here because once again, Villanova's was very low for a number 2 seed. So I don't know. I think Ohio State's going to win this one. But let's check. Villanova versus Ohio State. And we get Villanova winning. Notre Dame's at 38. So a nice 4-point margin there for Villanova. Don't think we have to trigger our tiebreakers for that one. We kind of said like 2 or 3, I believe. So 4 is enough. Villanova wins. And now for the Sweet 16, we got number 1 Arizona versus number 12 UAB. Can they do it again? Can they do it again, folks? Can UAB do it again? Kind of hoping. Oh, they can't. And it's an 8-point margin. 69.3 out of 100 for Arizona. 61 out of 100 for UAB. So Arizona wins, moves on to the Elite 8. Then we get Tennessee versus Villanova. Tennessee versus Villanova. Don't think Villanova is going to survive this one. And Tennessee gets this one by a 9-point margin, 53 compared to 42 on Villanova. So Tennessee versus Arizona to reach the Final Four. Who's coming out of the South, folks? Let's see. Arizona or Tennessee. Loaded them both up, and we get Arizona by a wide margin, 69 compared to 53. So Arizona goes to the Final Four. All right, so we got half the bracket done, folks, and I think we're going to end it here. We're going to run through the bracket as soon as we kind of go off here, but it's not the best content. I mean, we're just loading teams into our the algorithm there. I know it's not the most great sounding content or anything like that. I get it, and I really just got to blow my nose, folks. Losing a little bit of steam here. We win it out in 42. We gave it the old college try, but we will post the end results here on Twitter. We're just not going to walk through it on the show, but we're going to do it right after this, and so it should be up very soon. But we are going to get out of here for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with the sickness over here. But yeah, we got to get out of here, folks. We're back live tomorrow around noon Eastern. We'll be watching college basketball. We'll be talking the show. It's going to be great. Tomorrow talking, what else are y'all going to get me riled up on? We'll go over that tomorrow. Y'all got more blasphemous in you. I know y'all do, folks. Y'all do. I know y'all do. So what will be the next blasphemous thing that sets us off? Come find out tomorrow, because I'm sure something's going to happen. And, I'm going to be fired up, and we'll still be sick because we're worried, we're so absolutely distraught, folks. I'm distraught by what y'all are saying out there. Alrighty, folks, but that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, doing it all over again. Make some money. Got tons of bets tonight. But the most important ones are that our algorithm is 100% correct. Hopefully, we pick both of them right here. Gives us great confidence for the rest of March Madness. But we are out of here, folks. Have an absolute great one, and we will see you back here tomorrow, folks.